This video is going to be about pricing with Amazon KDP. I'll be going over some of the helpful tips and tricks on how to actually price your Amazon KDP book, as well as some of the informational pages that KDP has in regards to how they actually determine their printing cost, and they even have a royalty calculator that you can use. So this is what your pricing page actually looks like for Amazon KDP. This is for a paperback book. So you fill in your paperback details and then your content, and then you go to the rights and pricing page. So if you scroll down, it shows all of the different pricing for all the different marketplaces. On the this middle area right here, it says printing. So this is how much it actually costs. So it says printing costs are deducted from your royalties and vary depending on your book's page count and whether your book's interior is in black and white or full color. And you can learn more if you click on the link here. This is also the rate. So this is how much you'll actually earn per sale. So we all get 60% of the actual royalties, or 60% of the actual sales. So then the royalty is how much you'll actually make per sale. So on the left-hand side, it shows all of the different countries and marketplaces that you can actually sell from. And then it also explains underneath the box here the minimum and maximum. So the minimum is basically the lowest amount you can price your book at, and that's because Amazon is not in the business of losing money. They want to be making money. So that's the minimum they are going to allow you to price your book at, and that basically covers the printing and whatever other fees or things they have, and I'm sure they probably make some sort of profit off of that. So moving on to some of the informational pages that KDP has, I'm sure they have a few different ones, but this one is really helpful. It says paperback printing cost. I'm sure they also have them for ebook hardcover, like right here is hardcover printing cost, and I'm sure there's somewhere that you could find information about the ebook, because ebook you don't have a printing cost. So you most likely don't have to pay as much to Amazon. Obviously, they're still going to be taking some sort of pay from that, and it may be the 60%. I'm not 100% certain. I'd have to look that up, but you don't actually have to pay a printing cost, so that's going to cut down on the amount of money that gets taken out of your profits. So Amazon kind of goes over how they calculate printing cost. To calculate your paperback's printing cost, we use this formula: fixed cost plus page count times per page cost equals printing cost. And then they even have a chart down here that kind of goes over different information, the fixed cost, additional per page, and then color. And there's just so much information on this page if you really wanted to deep dive into this. So Amazon also has a calculator in case you don't really want to do all the math yourself. You can use this calculator. So if you have a paperback, black and white interior with white paper, let's say it has 100 pages, and I want to list it for, we'll do $7.99. I'll hit calculate, and then it's going to take a minute, and then it will show you right down here your list price, minimum list price, the printing cost, and your estimated royalty. So if I change this to premium color, we'll see how that estimated royalty actually went down to 0. Because the minimum cost is $13.08, I'd have to put, so let's do $14.99. So this is kind of something that you're going to have to research and figure out what you want to do. So at $14.99, it'd be $1.14. So printing with color makes it a lot more expensive, which just makes sense because it's more money for them to actually print it. If I do standard instead of premium, that royalty goes up to $4.54. So you definitely want to figure out what's best for your book and also what's best for the royalties overall. I don't recommend lowering the quality of your book in order to get a higher royalty. For example, I don't recommend choosing standard color if your book really needs premium color, because having a quality book, I think, is going to be more important because you'll actually be making more sales. Even if your royalty may be lower, you could always price it higher to get that royalty up if that's something that your niche allows. There's different ways to go about this, but I don't recommend compromising the quality of your book. So in regards to actually your royalty, for example, this book right here, I'm not going to share exactly what the book is, but this is a scrapbook paper book, so it has premium color because that's what I like to use since they're full page designs. and I'm just going to change the price to something else. So we'll just do $8.99 as an example, and it's going to be a royalty of $174. So I like to have a minimum of $2 royalty while I'm pricing out my books, and that's because I just think that that's a decent number to go for. I honestly would rather have $3 or $4 royalty, because if you think about it, if you sell 5 books at $1 royalty, that's $5. If you sell 5 books at $4 royalty, that's going to be $20. So it's a pretty major difference where you can sell less books and make more money. So I usually aim for a minimum of a $2 royalty, because I feel like usually my pricing falls between there and it's mostly fair. If I can, I definitely try to aim for $3 or $4 royalty, because honestly, the more royalties you make, the better. But if the niche isn't going to work like that, like if you price your book at $10, but everyone else has their book at $5, then your book's most likely not going to sell. So you do have to be looking at what niche you're in and what your competitors are doing. And you don't have to do exactly what they're doing, of course, but I think you do need to make sure you stay competitive. So all of these other amounts here, I have $9.99, $41.99. I go through all of them, and some of them did change when I adjusted the price. And I just put it at $0.99. And that's because for some reason that's how we do our prices for the most part. And I'm guessing other countries are all the same. And I think it just looks better. Like if I'm on Amazon and I see something and it's for like $7.42, I'm always a little bit weirded out by it, because I'm like, why is it $7.42? Like, that's a little bit weird. So it's just not something I'm used to seeing. So I always change it to $0.99, except for Japan. I'm not really sure how Japan does their money or currency. So I just leave whatever KDP decides for that. Unless I think the number's too low, then I might up it. But I change everything else to $0.99. And that's just more of like an aesthetic type of look. But I think it truly does actually help with sales. So you don't have to pay any money upfront for Amazon KDP. All of this is included. So basically, you can start Amazon KDP for free. You can upload a book for completely free, and you can publish it for completely free. You don't pay any money upfront. The printing cost, shipping, all of that are things that Amazon KDP handles. So the printing cost is listed right here on the pricing page. Then you have your rate, and then you have your royalties. You don't have to pay anything. You simply just get your royalty if your book sells. So you do want to make sure you are making a royalty. If I put this for the lowest amount possible on here, I would be making a $0 royalty. So I do not recommend doing that. You definitely want to be making money for your book. You can kind of play around with this, see all the different amounts. $6.99 only be 54 cents of royalty. So I'd have to sell 2 books to even make $1.08. So that's why I try to aim for at least a $2 royalty. This is $2.34. That makes me feel a lot better, and kind of go from there. But I definitely recommend doing some research in your niche. You can look up your niche or your keywords and see what other people are selling their books for, because other people may have them priced out higher, but they might not actually be selling. So look at the books that are actually selling and kind of go from there. But I really love that Amazon KDP doesn't require you to pay any money up front, because this means that truly anybody can get started with KDP, even if they don't know what they're doing. Like, I had no idea what I was doing when I first started KDP, and I'm still constantly learning. But there's just no upfront cost to it. Even when you publish your first book, you don't have to pay for the printing or anything like that. Amazon KDP is a print on demand service. So basically, they don't print your book normally unless it actually sells. So you don't have to pay like $100 up front to have them print 50 books or something like that, because they're not going to print them unless it sells. And if it sells, then you're going to be making that 60%. So that way you get your royalty. So I really hope that made sense and kind of clears some things up. I hope it was helpful. I definitely recommend checking out these help pages that they have here. And I'll probably put them in the description below in case you want to look them over. They have another one for hardcover, and I'm sure they probably have information on an ebook somewhere. But Amazon has tons of information throughout their system, so I just definitely recommend looking into all of these topics and things that they have here if you have any questions. But I hope this was helpful and kind of gave you a little bit better of an idea on how pricing works for Amazon KDP and how to price out your own books. So thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope that you have a great day.